Hi guys, I'm just here for just a second with the Waco weather. Um, it's so funny, just 2 weeks ago or so, I got some mosquito bites and trigger bites because it was so warm out. Especially even right during the holiday season, on and off. It was so warm. I mean, you could wear like shorts with a t-shirt and everything. So, I'm inside now, otherwise I'd have my heavy coat and everything. Um, And then the next thing you know, it's back into the teens in the morning and just a big ice storm, just late ice storm. I'm from Dallas. I know what it's like. It gets worse up there, up in Amarillo, even worse. But it's even like icy still down in Austin. And don't let that stuff fool you. It looks like snow, some of it. It just looks like beautiful white snow, nice crunchy snow that has lots of traction, but most of it's ice. And it's just as slick as glass. It's just like being on a roller rink. Excuse me, an ice skating rink. Hello. So, anyway, so be cautious on it. Yeah, I went upside down on it one time trying to walk on the parking lot with all that invisible ice maybe about 7 or more years ago, somewhere in there. I had just moved back to Dallas from Los Angeles, and I got used to just walking my elderly dog whenever I wanted to. And my poor little dog Emmy, she just could pull. She's just a tiny dog, just like Tony is, but when she saw a squirrel, she really pulled. And there might have been a lone squirrel out there, but that was kind of like an idiot. Um, or I was being an idiot just to do that. That was goofy to be out walking around when no one was out. So fortunately, I was able to get a ride to the clinic and then on to the hospital. I had my shoulder pulled out. It was dislocated, but they said since I had always been a good swimmer, like they could tell I had some good muscles in here. So anyway, but yes, that's the weather, and it's back down into the 20s again already, but it'll stay that way. Hopefully it won't get into the teens this morning, but it did get up to 33 today for a while. So that with the sun out, and that was long enough to melt some of it. Of course, some of it will refreeze, but then tomorrow um, it will be, in the 20s in the morning, but it's supposed to get up to the 40s. And so a lot of it will be melted, and hopefully most all of it will be melted by Wednesday. And I have to figure out on whether I'm gonna put my car in the shop or whatever. It didn't start right before the weather hit, so I had some other issues with it that I've been working on. So it's a 2008, but depending on how all my other work goes in my life and my income, and if I get this other job Wednesday, or if I get a different job, and I'm still doing everything. I'm still Celery Queen Jean, and I can sell all the Hot Mom products, and I can still write and act and all the fun things in life, but everything in life is tons of fun until you try to step up the game and try to make some money at it. But if you can master that, if you can master making tons of money while having tons of fun, then you are mastering something big. And if you can even manifest love in for all that's going on, that's even better. Sometimes we tell ourselves, oh, well, look at all these rich, successful people, or, they all have the perfect relationship or whatever. It's probably not really as great as it looks, or you hear stories, oh, it's not so great after all, whatever. That's no reason to give up on your dreams. That's no excuse. Just step out as you step out of mediocrity. And I have my days like that too. Like, why bother? I'm never going to be the next whatever, fill in the blank, the next this, the next that, the next, you know, whatever it is that you're wanting to do. And sometimes it can change daily. Not just because you're unfocused, but because you're constantly have all these, you know, thoughts that say, don't do this, do that. And then if you get on the internet, like for work, like this job will be easier than that one pays more, but you won't like it, but this one, like even if, as if we have choices, and we're bombarded with all this, it's just like with the acting world and or in sales. And for whatever reason, if you have to just keep going and not give up and then take breaks, because sometimes they'll come in and say, oh, you were put on hold for this or that, but now we went in another direction on this or that, whether the job, the acting role, the sales, like, you know, as I may try to incorporate that back in, just needing to up the income here. I mean, I can't really mix Cheerios with cat food to give to the dog, but anyway, that's not, you can do that a little bit. I've been Googling about it, but anyway, you got to step the game up so that you're ready for the next opportunity and you're not letting this one keep you kind of in a holding pattern. And we have to do that with our love life too. Like we can do that if we say, oh, we're really like this one guy, I wish he would, you know, so, you know, I'll just forget the rest. No, don't do that. Because if he's not right there wanting to be with you, he may not be the one. I mean, I don't know. What do I know about all love? I mean, I have picked more wrong guys out of the, you know, and even back when I was really young and really cute and slim and all men wanted to do was just like one thing. And see, I felt that way, but it turned out that wasn't always the case, but it was very annoying, and I know a lot of young girls go through that too. You know, high school, college, 20s, you know, whatever. So maybe because you look a little lost, and that's a whole nother thing. But no, just because you can't always make up your mind doesn't mean you lack focus. It's because you're just seeing too many big pictures out there. There's like, and if you've been in a number of different jobs and industries, and then you like see stuff, and if you went through some trauma, then you might imagine the worst situation. So you might have to be careful where you put your energy as far as work goes, or learning to say no to people and when necessary, whether personal, professional, you know. But you don't know sometimes until you try working in that office or work with those other actors, or, you know. And of course, as actors, we want to like accept any role that we can get, but sometimes that's not always the case, and we can't always do that. And maybe you don't need to do that. I mean, I know a long time ago, I had a different agent then, and I was offered a role in something, and it was just kind of ridiculous and weird, and just felt creepy. And the thing of it is that that project got stopped anyway, because they were just doing too many things wrong. So, you know, sometimes, and that would have saved me the hassle of even being in that project. But, you know, as actors, we want to be in everything, you know. And in fact, right now, because of all these other things going on, and I'm not going to, you know, that would be boring. Like, well, are you going to take that job so that you can pay to have your car fixed or what, you know? And then, you know, you're going to keep doing this, but why this and why that, and you know, no, we're not going to do all that right now. We're just going to think about how can we improve our lives and live for the moment and just adapt. I have never though, well, I take that back, but so many days in a row of this like weather where it's almost like a skating rink outside, you know, everywhere. But kudos to those people that braved all the roads and highways. But the almost the biggest danger is walking in it, you know. So, but anyway, but we've been through a lot, but I've never seen so many days in a row. And then I think we're going to get a reprieve from like Wednesday and Thursday, but possibly Friday. But then it's going to be, of course it is winter, it's going to dip right down again. You know, Texas gets strange weather. I mean, it's a big state, you know, a lot of geography here, and it can go anywhere from below, you know, 0, not like a lot below, maybe 5 below, 10 below. It's some, you know, nothing like what they have up Alaska or Canada or up, you know, the upper, you know, regions of the, you know, country, the U.S. It's not like that, but it can get pretty cold here and frigid. And unfortunately, and I was born and raised in Dallas, I have seen that many years in the past before we sort of started to imagine, like, conspiracy theory or not. Are they messing with our weather? What's going on? Maybe not. I mean, you know, I mean, I can be gullible in several different directions, just like anybody. The best thing to do is just weigh all the factors from one side to the other, and then kind of decide for yourself, and maybe accept the fact that sometimes we'll never know the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us, God. You know, we may not all the time, you know, but anyway, yeah. So, well, I'm going to go now. So, I just wanted to, I didn't necessarily do this because I wanted attention. I was worried about how you're doing. Yes, you, that's you, my subscriber. I have 207 subscribers, but I'm just talking to you right now, whoever's watching this. You might be a subscriber. You might not be a subscriber. You know what? It's free to subscribe. And I haven't even, I'm too caught up in everything else that I'm trying to do. I haven't even started my classes where I'll offer to people from here, you know, different acting classes and different things, different career options, and, you know, kind of like learning from my experiences. I haven't even done the thing where you charge for people to join the channel. So it's still free. So, and you can really look at all of it. If you watch a lot of them, I mean, you might get put to sleep with them. You know, you know, I mean, when I was younger, as opposed to being older, I used to be like the life of the party and really could make a lot of jokes and cheer everybody up, and we were dancing and, you know, silly fun. That's what I miss. I'm not really a nerd, but I was not really what our grandmothers used to call, or my grandmother's day used to call, like squares or whatever. But just fun, be silly. Just, you know, if we went to a party in our, sometimes even my 20s or 30s, and just joke around about silly stuff. You know, it's fun. So, anyway, well, I'll talk to you later. I may check back in with you. And so if you have any questions about what I was talking about, just comment in the section. But I think you know, don't give up on your dreams, your goals. I mean, it's just one, it's just not one setback right after another, but you just overcome them. You see them as obstacles. You know, don't see your life as problems. No matter what's going on, just think, this is a challenging situation. I can overcome these challenges. Okay, so we'll go on that and then we'll pick it up next time, okay? So, but yes, you, the one that's watching this but not watching this, maybe falling asleep to this, or maybe getting inspired and all of a sudden getting on one of the, you know, job apps and applying to several jobs at once, or listening all night to the, you can make, like a lot of money doing this, doing that. We need to learn more about AI. We need to learn, well, somebody's going to have to manage AI, because I have already seen it run amok just in some of the job apps and various other things, like when I've called about things or Googled stuff, or like if you're not on the chat GBTs or whatever, all the different ones, it can make, it has to have people running it, because it can mix up signals, like it can say, oh, you would be great for this job, when, my background is, when I talk about media, media, journalism, entertainment, education, just like in substitute teaching and things like that, a little bit of retail, different, some career, overall office jobs, and so, and of course the acting and everything, and selling insurance and everything. But basically, all that aside, anyway, well, I'm just talking about a lot of stuff. That the bottom line is, no matter what I'm talking about, it might put you to sleep, okay? But that might be a good thing, because sometimes, like, if you are, and I think I have like a soothing, healing voice when I can be in my, I hope I get this right, parasympathetic nervous system, as opposed to my sympathetic nervous system. I think the parasympathetic nervous system is when you're more calm and everything. So anyway, of course, if you're an empath, it might be more complicated, because I am an empath. But we can't be empathic towards everyone, because we have to be empathic to ourselves and be in tune about what we want. So, and I did win one free credit for Audible to listen to Catherine Alice again, and she believes that we all have a soulmate man, or I happen to be a woman looking for, well, God willing, a man, but she thinks there's a lid for every pot and there's someone for everyone, and which is great. And so I listened to that, and then I felt some inner peace after that, and that can help you sleep, anything like that. There's a lot of things you can do. And then I won another Audible credit on this John Lee. It was a free book, and he had a free success marketing, AI, learning, social media webinar this weekend. It's very good. He had a lot of speakers, and right now I've been listening to Dewan Johnson's lineup. I've taken some self-taping classes from him, and he's really good too, and he has a number of guests, and it's all free. So, it's really nice that people are doing this. Of course, it's a way to eventually sell you products. Right now I can't really, okay, I'm not going to say I can't afford, because that's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, I just don't have the budget for anything like that right now. And I've taken my share of classes. I've taken all kinds of classes all my life. I haven't been in sales, and even the news business, we did some things, but mostly being in sales, did a lot of classes, working for insurance companies. And one time Prudential sent us to a really nice seminar. It's a long thing. I might talk about it sometime, but we learned a lot of different things, and they had a lot of good speakers there. And I always remember one always saying, You can't get what you, if you keep on doing what you've always done, you'll keep on getting what you always have got, or whatever, have gotten, you know. So that was interesting, you know, we know. So that goes back to what we were talking about before. But anyway, this is a lot, so, but yes, I mean, I'm just saying that sometimes you can be up at night and then watching all this stuff on videos on YouTube or whatever. It's like, I mean, it's good. It's a good thing, really, if you just learn how to deal with it. We have 24/7 news cycle, and we are getting more and more of various sources, not just the cookie cutter, you know, streamline, you know, factory outlet release of the news. That, you know, and we did get some sincere news back in the day too, you know, me being older and everything. So, and if the news was too much for us, we could like watch Leave It to Beaver or something. I mean, that was when I was growing up. When I was a little bitty kid, I grew up watching Leave It to Beaver as a child. So I felt like I was growing up with the beaver. So, with Leave It to Beaver. So, anyway, so and somehow, I don't know why my life was often like him as far as things, as opposed to the more together older brothers. And I did have 3 older brothers, but anyway, so that's all. So I'm getting a little cabin fever. The weather will hopefully improve and I can get my car fixed and possibly start this new job so that I can afford to do all the jobs that I want to do, like be an actress, which I am. And I did have an audition yesterday. I think, yeah, I did. Yeah, it was yesterday I did that. And that was kind of fun. So, got to get my car fixed in case I get it so I can drive to the set. So I got to go, and then of course to this other job, unless I get the one that's very similar to work remotely, but then I have to get my car fixed, and then I got to get some dog food and cat food. I would love to get some free pepperoni treats sometime. I have promoted pepperoni. I know, you know, I mean, I've taken a lot of acting classes, commercial classes for Mike Pointer, the best of the best. That's another reason I, you know, maxed out some cards. It'll take some big breakthrough moments to, you know. Anyway, so, but yeah, remember, I'll try to repost that again, but, you know, my name is Tony. I love pepperoni, when, you know, and I've got him a pepperoni bag, which a friend had given me as a gift for Tony, and it was taller than Tony. So, and he's pretty good size. He's got long legs. You've seen him. Okay, well, I'm going to go now. Okay, I just thought I'd get like a little, you know, I mean, I don't know. Kind of like a combination news show, stand-up comedy, sort of, but sort of philosophical, maybe kind of like self-help, you know, healing, you know, success, motivation, inspirational, spiritual, you know, the whole thing. So, okay. All right. Trying to, I mean, combine it together. That's like a big picture thing. Like, what's wrong with looking at the big picture? That's what people that run things look at, you know. So anyway, we'll talk about that another day. You know, kind of like to see the big picture instead of like, that's not my job, you know, to do, you know, just whatever, you know. So, okay, see you next time.